How did symbols help in forming a sense of nationhood in people's minds? During India's struggle for independence, thousands of people had come together to fight for a united cause. But what had brought these people belonging to different religions, communities, and language groups to join forces? It was a feeling of nationalism, and in creating the idea of one nation, one people, culture played an important role. History, fiction, folklore, and songs, popular prints, and symbols were used to create a sense of unity and connect. In the late 19th century, some Indians personified India as Bharat Mata. The personification first appeared in the Vande Mataram hymn written by Bankim Chandra Chattopadhyay in 1875. Later it was also included in his novel Anandamath. Vande Mataram became the slogan of nationalism, echoing through the streets of Bengal during the Swadeshi Movement. Abanindranath Tagore was inspired by the Swadeshi Movement and painted an image of Bharat Mata. She was depicted as a four-armed goddess with an ascetic quality. This portrait of Bharat Mata evoked a feeling of devotion to her and in turn, the motherland. Nationalism also got a boost by a movement to revive local folklore. Nationalists felt that Indian traditions were being corrupted by foreign sources. Thus, there was a need to safeguard them in order to determine one's national identity. So they went around to villages recording folk songs and legends. In Bengal, this activity was led by Rabindranath Tagore. In Madras, Natasha Shastri published a collection of Tamil folk tales called the Folklore of Southern India. As the national movement gained momentum, the usage of visual imagery too became prominent. For example, a red, green and yellow tricolour flag with 8 lotuses that stood for 8 provinces of British India was designed during the Swadeshi movement. The crescent moon and sun on it represented Muslims and Hindus. Even Mahatma Gandhi had come up with his own tricolour flag to depict Swaraj. The charkha at the centre of red, green and white bands represented his principle of self-help. The feeling of nationalism was also generated by challenging the British notion of Indians being uncivilized and lacking the ability to govern themselves. Ancient India's distinguished achievements in art, architecture, science, mathematics, religion, culture, law, philosophy, craft and trade were remembered and celebrated. The nationalists stressed that colonization had tried to wipe out India's rich culture. So it was time to put an end to the misery of Indians by ousting the Britishers. However, all these efforts that aimed at bringing unity among people had a few flaws. The icons that were celebrated and the past that was glorified was all Hindu. This alienated people belonging to other communities. The efforts by Congress to organize mass movements were sometimes marred by disharmony because freedom was interpreted differently based on the aspirations of different groups. Here is what we have learned.